guys, welcome to my channel. So the pilota of the Biafran people, the United States of Biafra, which is the person of Ngozi Orebeze, right? So updates the Biafrans on this particular video update that I'm about to introduce to you. And what is the update? Update on what is going to happen in Washington, D.C., all right? So with the new embassy that is going to be open, and some other update also with regards to another leader that is tend to be Simon Ekpa, and so many other updates that is in line with what's currently going on with the Finland government and the Biafran government. So, right, so stay updated on this particular video update, and we'll be right back.
In the plans and the patterns and the things that we do. Again, as we all know, this is. I keep telling people we have only one government, the United States of Biafra. Every other thing falls into that, including the brigade, the de facto, all of that. We own them because that is a continuum set by our our leader, Nyendu Nnamdi Kanu, continued by our Prime Minister, then by my humble self, Dr. Orebeze. And nothing changes except the criminals that are trying to change anything along the way. We are doing well overall, but in homeland, in the 40 states of Biafra, in the 15 counties, in the wards and the districts, the instructions are very, very clear. The government is one. Again, as I always let everyone know, at every step of the restoration of Biafra, the Nigerian state will always plant people inside the leadership, just like they did during Owazurike's time, just like they did during Onyendu's time when they planted DOS, Benjamin Madubugo, China Sanworu, all these criminals that sold out the ESN that Onyendu established to help protect our land. And in our prime minister's time, some of the ex-brigade cabinet members that are being paid by the Nigerian state to make it look as if there's anything parallel, which is not. That is what they will continue to do. This criminal, the DOS, and these criminal ex-brigade cabinet members, they are continuing to plot their evils, but Biafrans are following them bumper to bumper. The promise Biafrans have given them is that we've been through this hell before. We've been through all these shenanigans and deceits and manipulations in the past. Not anymore. Now the fight is in the court of Biafrans. It's not about me, Dr. Orebeze. It's not about Nyendu Nnamdi Kanu. It's not about Simon Ekpa. It is time for Biafrans, based on the experiences they've had in the past, to say no to this disruption and distractions planted in our midst by the Nigerian state. So they're already gone. Many of them, they're already gone. They're already exhibiting their criminality among themselves. They are nowhere. They can never, ever come near the government or the leadership of the United States of Biafra. No matter how they try, no matter what they do. Just like PM will always say, if the Nigerian state uses the criminals, Biafran criminals, even if they lie, let them kill everyone, they can never, ever come near. Because what they do is to stop the final push to secure the United States of Biafra. That is their plan, to disrupt that. But they will never, ever succeed in their plan. So Biafrans do not pay attention to them. The only task that every single Biafran have is, those of you that have been following Nyendu Nnamdi Kanu, following Simon Ekpa, is to know when these criminals wear their ugly heads and just ensure that they don't bring their problem into what we are doing. As a country, we declared our independence in Finland, November 29, 2024. We will continue to defend our country, the United States of Biafra. We met all the criteria as a nation. We are a nation as we stand. We were a nation between 67 and 70, and we have declared our independence. What Nigeria is doing, using some of these Biafrans that work with them, is to try to stop what we are doing. That's why they went to Kenya, extradited, and took our Nyendu Nnamdi Kanu and rendition him to Nigeria, where he is right now, languishing in DSS dungeon for almost 5 years. When they discovered that Nnamdi Kanu is not making the impact, they now went after our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. The same thing, the same template. It's just to stop the restoration of Biafra, but they can never at this time. That is why they took our Prime Minister away, to stop the redeclaration of the Republic of Biafra in Finland. But they failed woefully. Finland is towing the path of Nigeria by trying to try our prime minister in the court. We'll see how that proceeds. But we, this government of the United States of Biafra, we will do everything possible to defend and protect every citizen of the United States of Biafra, including our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. That is our task to do that. That is the task of the government to do that. So, again, do not be deterred. Nigeria is already a failed state. No country rehabilitates and reintegrates non-terrorists into their nation. And what do all these people do? They brought them in for political gain, to help them have the numbers to win elections. And at the end of the day, it becomes difficult for them to remove them. Then they started to unleash who they really are, which is the terrorists. Killing and maiming people, displacing indigenous Nigerians, taking over their homes. That is all they do. Nigeria state is a terrorist state. Nigeria has been declared as one of the deadliest country in the world for Christians to live. What else? What else do you need? What else do the world need to break up that entity so people can live? It must be broken for people to live. United States of Biafra, we already left. But the indigenous Nigerians are crying every day for the breakup of that entity so that people can live. Indigenous Nigerians are displaced from their homes. Christians are murdered in their hundreds. Tinubu and Christopher Musa is not saying anything about that. Rather, they fly abroad and go to lie to people that the terrorists are coming in from the Sahel. No, they are the ones inviting these terrorists into the Nigerian state. But thank God, most countries in the world now have seen that Nigeria politicians, Tinubu, Christopher Musa, they are the real terrorists. Sheikh, the one that was rejected in entering Saudi Arabia, where they went for their Hajj. These are people that wine and dine with Shetima, the deputy president of Nigeria. So how can France, how can Finland, how can Europe, how can some other countries realize that Nigeria is dining with the terrorists every day? If Saudi Arabia can reject that sheikh, then why can't Nigeria do the same? Why can't Britain do the same? Why can't France do the same? Why can't Finland do the same? But rather, they wanted to have those economic and bilateral relationships in the expense for human rights charters they signed to be part of. But at the European Union, at the African Union, they signed this Commonwealth. They signed all this charter to make the world a better place, to report human rights abuses, not to engage in human rights abuses. But they do that every day. And they plant their criminals across the world, across organizations, to suppress these human rights abuses they engage in. But not anymore. Their time is up. Every day is for the thief. One day is for the owner of the house. Now the owner of the house has come in to take their home. Nigeria is down. Their case is filled. Their cup is filled. And anyone that associates themselves, any country that associates themselves with Nigeria is going to regret it. They're going to regret it. So Biafrans, be resolute. Do not be moved by anyone. Do not be shaken by anybody. Their time of terrorizing people, scaring people is over. Because that's what they live on. They go behind and call people on the phone, trying to threaten people, trying to cajole people, trying to subjugate and subdue people. That time is over. The world has risen up to realize the criminality of Nigeria. The world has risen up to find the danger the danger of being in that enclave called Nigeria. That is why it has crumbled. It will continue to crumble by the minute, by the second. It is our task to build our United States of Biafra. We will continue to build our country through all the legal ways. We have officially written to our that sister state, Nigeria, to remove everything that is Nigeria from our territory. Currently, anything Nigeria inside Biafra land, they are occupying a foreign territory. They must leave. We have written to them to peacefully leave our country. It's for their own interest to leave our country. We have our commissioners in different departments ready to start work. They've been hiring people. They have everything needed to start work from day one. We have written for Nigerians to leave our land. The Nigerian reintegrated military and police in Biafra land has been told to leave. We've written them to leave. If they don't leave, that is their own business. We must protect our land. We must protect our people from the reintegrated terrorists hired by Nigerian government wearing military and police uniform. They must leave our land. Biafrans have voted in a self-referendum where over 50 million have voted, both at home and abroad, to exit Nigeria. Nobody can change that. The voluntary Monday sit at home continues. It is agreed upon by Biafrans. We will continue to do that until our leader Onyedi Nnamdi Kanu is left, until Simon Evans, and until we defend our country. It is a collective wish of Biafrans to continue to do that. Every Monday in the whole Biafra land, all banks, all schools, every businesses, all markets are shut down by Biafrans, by the people, not by anybody. The full protection of the United States of Biafra is not about Dr. Rabwese. Neither is it about Simon Ekpa. Neither is it about Nnamdi Kanu. It is the collective will of the people for Biafrans scattered all over the world to go home and build one of the best countries in the world. Nobody will stop that. Nobody can stop that. So anything anyone can do for the restoration of Biafra, do that. I give that authority to Biafrans all over the world. Anything you can do, no matter how small you think it may not be impactful, it is. Anything you can do that. Reports you can do. Report at the right quarter. Send those emails. Those are the things that weakens the terrorist state of Nigeria. Gone are those days when we just sit and talk. And after talking, people will just go home and sleep. That has no effect. You must match your talk with actions. That action may be doing the little fundraising that is being organized just like we have right now. It could be writing and submitting to the appropriate quarters. It could be establishing something that is never there in homeland. In the whole Biafra territory, there's nothing like post office, no postal services. Somebody can start a demo project. A postal, even if it's just serving a place like main market on the shore, but establishing it at a postal agency. People submit the letters there. You hire one van there, hire one or two people to submit the mails, drop the mails to the addresses. We start it one at a time. So even though the government has a vast project, a robust project for things like that, everyone has a role to play. Every single person listening to me has a role to play in the restoration of the United States of Biafra, in breaking down the terrorist state of Nigeria, in ensuring that Nigerians, indigenous Nigerians, do not continue to be killed every day by the terrorists brought in by Christopher Musa and Tinubu into Nigeria. They are the ones that brings them. Do not let anybody deceive you. They are the one, because they have the policy to reintegrate them. We have thousands of Boko Haram terrorists, confirmed terrorists that Christopher Musa have sent and graduated from. According to him, he has rehabilitated them. How do you think terrorists will change? They do not have any homes. How do they get their homes? They get their home by displacing and killing indigenous Nigerians, chasing them away from their homes and taking over their homes. Why is Tinubu and Christopher Musa building IDP camps? They go to United Nations and collect like thousands of dollars to build IDP camps. Meanwhile, it is the reintegrated terrorists that they brought into Nigeria that displaced these individuals from their homes. United Nations must stop the funding of anything IDP in Biafra land because it is the government that money goes to, not the indigenes that are hurt. United Nations should stop and must stop using indigenous Biafrans to collect money. No. Give power back to the people. Break up Nigeria so that the indigenes will start removing the terrorists that are occupying their home. That is the only way. The terrorists brought in by Christopher Musa will be chased away from indigenous Nigerian communities. Not by anything, not by building IDP camps. For us Biafrans, it is a sealed deal. There will be there is no negotiation at this point on anything. But any Fulani terrorists in our land must leave Biafra land. They can continue to move up to Lagos State, to the north, to wherever, or move out to the Sahel where they come from. But not in Biafra land. We will make them leave because they cannot come to kill us and get away with it. Self-defense is our right. Self-determination is our right. Currently, legally, the United States of Biafra is a sovereign nation. Anybody, any Fulani terrorist, any Nigerian reintegrated terrorist wearing Nigerian military, police uniform, any security, you are not wanted in our land. You must leave our land because you are currently occupying a foreign nation. We have the legal documents and we are filing them at the appropriate courts. So again, Biafrans, I must leave. I thank you all. If anybody have any questions before I leave, because we have to get ready for our Washington, D.C. event. I thank all our soldiers on ground, the Biafran military, doing the needful, getting themselves ready, getting the necessary trainings they need to ensure that they are our nation. They must leave our nation. We do not want them. Anybody that wants to be in the United States of Biafra must follow the rules and the Constitution of the United States of Biafra people. And those constitutions are very, very clear on what anyone can do in our land.